Yeah, I should probably do something about that. Yeah. Did you expect anything less? Let's give Taco a call and get him in here right away. Here we go. We're gonna start a voice call. There we are.
Yo.
Yo, wow, that was fast. You're Johnny on the spot with that. Let me drop the music. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Why don't you share yours with me? You can throw up a green screen if you want, or if you would rather, you can do any background you want for yourself. So have you been enjoying all the festivities today in Marvel Strike Force?
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. I can't.
Right? Like what a fucking shit show it has been all day long.
Yeah, it's so much. It's so much.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't even know. I don't know where to start. I really I viewed myself as the positive streamer in Marvel Strike Force for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And I find it sort of astonishing that that's sort of still my role. Yeah.
That's why you were like, "Are you still wanting to do this today?" And I'm like, "Hell yes! I need some positivity after this absolute just the shit hitting the fan, going everywhere all day, and it would just not stop. It was endless. It was endless." Let's see. I'm just kind of fucking with some things here, tweaking these a little bit. It looks pretty good. I think that's okay. We'll try and work with that, I guess. Okay, and then I need to unlock that one. We'll move here. Fan this out a bit. So, because I realized after doing several of these, like, I did these last year. I did these last year trying to improve myself, right? I use this as an opportunity to gain in skill and talent, my ability to do these interviews. And so I use people, just like I use chat to help me get through Crucible. Oh, good God. Just like I use chat to get through Crucible, I use other content creators to hone my skills as a reporter. But it turns out I'm not Barbara fucking Walters. And
I
so,
don't know. You're doing a good job. Okay,
oh, come on. These are so dry. They're terrible. I've been editing the Dorky Dad one, and I'm just like, oh, this is horrible. I have this vision of what I want it to be, and it never comes out the way I want it.
No, so look at your guest. I love Dorky Dad. Dry as a fucking rock. Like Jesus Christ. I do my best to make him entertaining, and then he just stops coming on happy hour. Like I can only try so fucking hard. He's got to meet me halfway.
Yeah. It's I don't know, like I have this like idea of what I want, like the angle of the piece to be, like I'm some fucking real reporter or something, like I haven't just been sitting in a chair at a plastic table for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
And I try to like ask these questions that are going to generate dramatic answers and really, like, I want like harp music playing in the background. I want my audience crying over these things and shit like that. And it never happens. And I end up asking these dumb things like, "So what do you do for a living?" It's just, oh, it's terrible. And I rewatch myself and I'm like, I would not watch this shit. Like, I watch all my own material and I make myself laugh, but I watch my own interviews and I'm like, this is terrible. I hate these.
So fun fact. So you messaged me, like literally I'm in the process of putting together a bit of a talk show, right? Like a daytime talk show, sort of what I'm trying to put together. And all of a sudden you messaged me about this and I'm like, so he's doing what I'm trying to do. Let me see how this works. And so legit, I'm watching the first two videos that you did. I watched, and I didn't watch them on time. I watch recap feverishly. Like I wait for it to drop. I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
That's why that last one, I sent it to you before I even posted it anywhere else. I was like, Taco's waiting for this. I ain't gonna make him wait any longer.
Yeah. No joke. And I watched it, and then I saw the drop, and I was like, fuck yeah, win. And so I'm sitting there, and I did not watch the Valley interview until like 3 or 4 days later, and actually, I think I watched the
Pathfinder one.
well, yeah, the Pathfinder. I watched Pathfinder before I watched the Valley one, and then I went and watched the Valley one, and I finished watching them, and I'm like, oh, I might have to do like a round table or something because I don't know that I can do an interview better than this.
It's just I'm like used to I'm either used to just running the microphone myself and talking with chat and just rolling with whatever comes out, or like being on happy hour is the only other time that I really share the screen with anybody. And it just feels like we're just hanging, like right now, I just feel like I'm just hanging out and it seems a lot easier. I got all geared up for those interviews. I had tons of these questions written down and just, oh, and last year I tried some different things too that didn't work. I remember I tried to go off the cuff with a Venora interview and I got nervous and forgot what to ask her. And everybody's just like, ooh, like cringing. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there like this spotlight, just sweating. And like, it was terrible.
You're a girl, you have boobs, right?
Yeah. What's it like streaming as a woman? Like, it was the lamest shit. So this time, like after Valley and Pathfinder and the Dorky Dad one, I was trying to ask some tougher questions. Now, keep in mind, I interviewed Dorky Dad before today, okay? And I was asking him some tough questions about the envoys, about accusations that have been made at him from people that are happening today, like all that stuff. And I woke up this morning and there was a half a dozen messages in Discord going, have you seen what Tana posted? And so I go watch that. And then by the time I finished that 30-minute video, I've got another half a dozen people saying, have you seen this? And I was like, oh shit. And so I messaged James and I'm like, dude, I think I'm going to sit on our interview a little bit. I don't want it to be about this. Like, this is horrific. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that interview either. I think I'm going to go back and cut it a little bit more even.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe reshoot it entirely. I'm sure Dorky wouldn't mind.
Well, it was funny because there was one question that he couldn't answer. He's just like, yes, and that's all I'm gonna say. And like that was it. And I knew he was up against NDA. And come to find out, Ravagers is the team. So I think that's maybe what it was approaching or something like that. So
yeah,
it was weird. So I just don't know what to do. So when I thought I was like, I can't wait for this TacoShooter interview because Taco's a guy who I could just chat with, who I could just get down with. So I decided to throw out all the stupid the dumb ideas, and I thought I would go find way better questions than I could generate. And then I thought, let's have chat get involved in this, and let's have chat have some fun with this. So I have 12 questions for you, and I have 12 questions for chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a question about you to chat and see what they think your answer would be. And then while we're letting chat make fun of you a little bit, I'll be asking you a different question that you can talk about to open up and learn about you. Now, I got to be honest, chat's questions are way better than your questions. They're way better than your questions. So
that's fair.
So that's kind of what I was going to do. I was like, fuck it. Let's just have some fun with this and dick around for a little bit. And then I'm not going to record some stupid intro or anything. I'm just going to cut this and post it straight to YouTube the way it is.
Yeah, listen, I'm a big fan of Dick. So if we can do that around as much as possible, I think this is going to be a win for everybody involved.
I think there's plenty of openings for that to take place. You're probably going to be a little frustrated with your questions because they are a little bit more serious. I do actually want to get to know you. There are some things like, you're a big proponent of mental health awareness.
Yeah.
And I'm curious where that comes from. I'm curious about your upbringing. And, you are a homosexual man who streams live in a community that doesn't have a lot of those. And so I want to know, like, I don't know anything about like how your parents dealt with that. I've heard some stories about you in college trying to figure shit out. Like all that stuff was kind of interesting. So I'm curious about that, but I'm gonna let you just figure, whatever you want to talk about. I don't, I'm not going to pigeonhole you to anything.
So that's sort of coming at that, that one comes as a bit of a surprise for me. So to come onto your show and to be put into the corner and have that accusation thrown against me, that is 100% accurate, and is very widely well known. It was still unexpected. And let's see where this will take us.
Okay, so chat for I don't even know how many. I don't have my I don't put a number in front of me, so I'm not sure how many people are in chat right now. But so chat, I want you guys to answer what you think TacoShooter's answer would be to this question. All right. Let me go through these. I literally just ran down to Target and I got hot seat questions. That's my professional questions. So, because the shit I was gonna come up with was boring, man. It was super boring. All right, so chat. Taco's blank is bigger than anyone else's in chat. Taco's blank is bigger than anyone else's in chat. Now, chat, go ahead and tell me what you think Taco's answer would be. Okay? And while you guys are coming up with stupid shit to say in chat, Taco, what advice would you give to your younger self? If you could go back and talk to yourself younger. I told you yours were way worse than chat's.
Honestly, like the one thing that I wish I could tell my younger self is don't stay in the closet so long. Don't be afraid to be your true self. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Live your life, live your truth.
Yeah.
Because I was in the closet until I was 30 years old. That's when I came out, and that a lot of that was just being born and raised in the South. And I was a very stereotypical boy, right? Like I played sports, and I was the funny guy, and I had lots of girlfriends, and I was a lot of it was being super what's the word I'm looking for? Part of it was fear of rejection, of losing the people that I'm friends with and that I like to be around. Part of it was the fear of something legitimately bad happening to me. Like that's part of being a gay person in the South. Was a real part of being a gay person in the South. Like there were a lot of hate crimes that people didn't call hate crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was something that I legitimately feared for. But I think the biggest part was just the fear of being disowned by my family, the fear of not having friends anymore. That was just a lot, and it was all stupid. Like it was dumb to think that way. Like everything went wonderfully. Nobody disowned me. Nobody stopped being my friend that I hung out with regularly, at least. So it wasn't anything. It was a lot of fear over nothing in my situation.
Oh, that's good. All right. Okay. Chat, you said Taco's blank is bigger than anyone else's. Let's go through some of this. Taco's ego is bigger than anyone else's. Oh, Zumi, this is nice. Zumi says Taco's heart is bigger than anyone else's in chat. That's very nice. Taco's TC penis is bigger than anyone else's. That's probably true. Boyfriend's dick is bigger than anyone else's. Bank account is bigger than anyone else's. Okay. All right. I knew we would generate some weird crap coming out of chat. Okay, now I gotta try and get these cards so that I have a better idea. All right, so chat, here's your next question, and then I'll move back over to Taco. If Taco ever had a cellmate, what would they name Taco? What would Taco's cellmate name him? All right, you guys think about that. All right, Taco, this one's to you. What's the strangest shit that's ever happened to you? Like, what's your weirdest experience ever?
I am, fun fact, I have been in the two largest blackouts in the history of the world. Um,
Are
which
you reading chat over here? Because it's a little distracting sometimes. The two
no.
largest
So I'm sort
blackouts?
of yeah. So I'm glancing down at chat from time to time, but so I was in 2000. God, I don't know if it was 2003 or 2004. I was in New York. I was in the Bronx visiting my best friend at the time. Still my best friend, but at the time I was in the Bronx visiting him. The so and all of a sudden the power went out, and we were like, thought it was just the block because it was summer, it was August, and I think it was August, and we just figured it was the heat, so we were like, let's go shopping, go to Canal Street or no, we are going to Fordham, so we go to get on the bus, and we get on the bus, and we literally are sitting in the exact same spot for about 20 minutes. And he was like, let's just go get some food. So we get off the bus, we start walking up the street, and that's when we realized that power's out everywhere. And then radio and whatnot starts coming through that power's out all across the city, all across the entire Northeast United States, all the way up into Canada. I don't remember what happened. Like some snakes got into a power plant somewhere around Niagara or something like that, and it literally shut out power for the entire Northeast United States, like Ohio, Michigan, everywhere, all the way over. And then in 2011, I was in San Diego, and sort of the exact same thing happened. Um, the where something happened down in Mexico, and all of the southeast of the U.S. Lost all of its power for like 4 days or something. It was just a weird, super weird coincidence. Like, who else can say they're in the two largest blackouts in modern world history?
Does it start to get a little scary when the power's out for that long? Like you're kind of wondering if riots are going to start up and stuff?
No, it was amazing. So in New York in particular, like that was a lot of people's fear that there was going to be rioting and whatnot, and it was amazing. So first and foremost, because the power was out for so long, like everybody had all of the restaurants and whatnot had all of this food, some of it cooked, some of it not, some of it frozen, whether it was ice cream, ice, so literally all of these stores were bringing all of their stuff out front and just like giving it away to everybody. And like people were spreading it amongst themselves. There was nobody just like running and grabbing stuff. It was really an amazing community. Uh, uh, it was amazing to see the entire community come together and just take care of each other. In especially somewhere like the Bronx that didn't have the best history for those types of things. I mean, it just showcased the heart of humanity in that type of situation.
That's really cool.
It was really cool. Yeah.
All right. So they think that your cellmate would name you Tacarina. Fresh meat, hard taco, easy does it. I'm not sure if that's a name or if Prince of Peace is telling people to back off. Taco Selly would address him with the respect he deserves.
Amen.
I like that one, Zero. Yes, CLB, this is live. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, chat, here's your question. You can generate some answers to this question while I give Taco the next one. What would Taco write on a cardboard sign to get spare change if he were homeless? Let's see what that sign would be. All right, and Taco, here is
MSF.
Okay. What is something about you that sounds fake but is actually 100% true? Like, what's an unbelievable aspect about you, or something unbelievable about you?
Something that sounds fake but is true. I don't know. I mean, so like my first story, that I was in the closet till I was 30, I think is something that's that a lot of people could have trouble believing. I got a soccer scholarship out of high school to Kentucky Wesleyan University, so I was good enough athlete to to get a scholarship. Not a big school. That's definitely not a fucking brag.
Sorry,
I'm trying
Revenix.
not to curse, but like,
No, go ahead, curse all you want. But Revenix just came into chat. Sorry, it's hard to stay on track with this shit.
Oh, false. No. Listen, don't take cleaning agents stick away from him. That's not right. Give that man something. Anyway, I guess just that was as good of an athlete as I am. I mean, I'm not, the best, but I was a very good overall athlete. I was on the Nike tour for three three tournaments, not a long period of time, but so I did do like the semi-pro golf thing. I got a scholarship for soccer. I was actually, at least in my eyes, a much better baseball player than I was soccer player, but stopped doing that because of I'm an idiot. That's not a funny story. It's just me showing how stupid I am. So we're not going to talk about that. I don't know. So I don't know that I necessarily look athletic or anything like that, but I'm actually quite stellar athlete. I'm, when I graduated high school, I was 240 pounds, not particularly healthy 240 pounds, but at 5'11", 240 pounds, I could run a 40-yard dash in 4.4 seconds, and I could jump and grab a rim. So
Wow.
there you go.
Wow, I think you just moved up on Purple Sticky's rating of who has your back in a fight. Like he's gonna call you for his team for sure, man. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I didn't have you pegged as an athletic person. Like I just didn't figure you for that. But soccer was your sport of choice?
Soccer was what I loved to play the most. It wasn't what I was best at, but I just really, really loved to play it. I was a keeper. I was all-state keeper, and then, like I said, got my little scholarship to a dinky little school. But that's something.
Okay. Steven says your sign would say, "We'll drink Mountain Dew for money."
No, you don't got to pay me to drink my Mountain Dew. Speaking of.
Thame says dick for change.
Yes. All change.
Will work for free. Reverse psychology. I'm not sure that would actually work. I think people would find him a little crazy. Willing to sleep on your couch if you vape with me? Okay. There we go. See, chat kind of knows you. All right. If you're just joining us, we are asking chat to explain what they think Taco would say or do with some kind of ridiculous questions, while I ask slightly more serious questions as I get to know a deeper layer of the man that is TacoShooter. So, all right. So, chat, your next question, and you guys can come up with some answers here. What is the most dangerous animal that TacoShooter could beat in a fight to the death? And I was gonna say something small and fluffy, but then he just told us what a badass athlete he has been, and that he's pretty buff dude. So I think the animal got bigger there in my. A pug, says Lunatic. See, Lunatic's going low here. Okay. And while they're discussing what animal you could take in a fight. So, all right, going back to these serious questions, really dramatic music I need to be playing in the background right now. What is your biggest fear?
Clowns.
Seriously, it's just clowns. Like everybody's afraid of clowns. What?
Yep.
You don't have something that you're like afraid that people find out about you? Well, I guess you overcame that, right?
Yeah, no, I'm a pretty open book, I don't talk about my work on stream because I'm not allowed to.
Right.
So it's
right.
like that's
Yeah.
that's it and that's all. I'm not afraid people finding out what I do. If people find out what I do and reached out to my work, they would find out that my work is aware of what I do and I'm following
Right.
my work's rules. So it's not some super top secret anything. It's just a potential conflict of interest. To avoid said potential conflict of interest, these are the instruction I've been given Outside of that, I'm an open book. You know, I talk about talk about my partner. I talk about my life. I talk about, you know, my family and the struggles that I've had, the struggles that my family's had. So the you know, I came from, if there was something that I was afraid of, like aside from a phobia, right,
Mhm.
is you know, losing everything. You know, so I came from not much, and I've built up a very successful career, and the so you know, that all disappearing, you know, would be probably the only thing that I'm really afraid of.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not afraid of it happening because I'm not afraid to put the work in to get back to where I am today. Um, so I don't, I'm not afraid of anything or anyone. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go up and, you know, challenge Mike Tyson to a fight.
Right. Right.
Just because I'm not afraid doesn't mean I'm stupid. Like, but yeah,
Well,
that's
you're a
it.
worldly man with lots of experience, and like you said, you put in the hard work to get where you're at. You could
Yeah,
do it again if you had to. I I am so deathly afraid of not being able to provide for my family. That
yeah,
scares the shit out of me. I'm sticking to my plan right now, but because I don't have a real job right now, I can't sleep at night. I'm so stressed out all the time. Like it was fun the first month or two, but like you said, losing everything and not being able to get back to where you are, that's kind of a fear. So I understand that, but yeah, that's cool. So people say, let me see, a rabid chihuahua, Sifushan? Wow, they're not giving you much credit in chat.
Chihuahuas are vicious,
A swan
evil
pumped
little
up with
things.
code red.
Oof.
Sassy says you could take on a bear. There you go. Wrestling the occasional bear.
Hold on, are we talking about animals
The
or?
biggest animal that you could take in a fight to the death.
No,
And
I was just curious. I was talking about Sassy specifically. I wasn't sure if she was talking about like a bear or like a gay bear.
oh,
It's-
I'm so out of touch with terminology like that. I would never catch something like that. I have the worst gaydar ever. Like I don't like
yeah.
I was telling you, I didn't even know that you were gay until I had been on your stream for like an hour. And like you were showing pictures of your partner. And at first I was like, is he being sarcastic because your partner's gorgeous? And there's an unbelievable thing. There's an unbelievable
Yeah.
thing about you. 100%
Yeah.
true. But
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's got to be kidding. There's no way.
Yeah, no,
So
that well, that's it. It's funny, you know. I don't know. There's a couple question. There was a question you asked about unbelievable stories and this, that, and the other. And Toker is in chat, and he's like, tell him about the time that Trey beat the shit out of the guy on the bicycle, and tell him about the time that Trey beat the shit out of the guy at New Year's Eve. And I'm like this is about. I'm not on here to talk about my partner's escapades
so Trey's a
and
brawler, huh?
violence. Oh, he ain't afraid. Yeah, he ain't afraid.
What Athame, I said your dirty answer. I already said it. You weren't listening to me. Pay attention here. Okay. Chat, you're up with a new question. If Taco were a excuse me. If Taco were a professional wrestler, what would his wrestling name be? You can even include the costume too for extra credit there, chat. Taco, what do you regret not doing? Is there anything? Is there anything well, you said that you wish you would have came out sooner, but
Yeah.
is there anything that you passed on that you don't have the chance to go back and do?
Um, the I don't have a lot of regrets in my life, and I feel like the regrets that I do have, I've always been able to sort of get through them. But in particular, I went 99. So I went 15 years without seeing my grandparents.
Why?
And so my grandparents, they live in Colorado. Actually, technically Utah, I think. Maybe it's Colorado. I don't know. It's like on the edge of Colorado and Utah, Junction City or something like that. Um, lived in Denver for a long time. Moved out there as they retired, and So I went like 15 years without seeing my grandma and grandpa. We talked on the phone, and my grandpa got Alzheimer and dementia, and then at that point it was, so I'd already gone through that with my grandmother on my mom's side, and that's tough. Like to lose a loved one to Alzheimer's and dementia is tough because you have to lose them twice, right?
Mhm.
Like you lose them once mentally, and then they eventually pass away. So it's twice you have to accept that you've lost them. And so when it happened to my grandfather, I sort of, I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna, in 6 months I'll be out there, and then 6 months would go by, and I'd be like, I'm going out there in 3 months, and then 3 months would go by, and be like, I'll be out there this summer, and then this summer would go by, and be like, I'll be there this winter, and I'm talking to him on the phone a lot, and my grandmother, she always kept her wits about her, and she was always great to talk to on the phone, and then my grandfather passed away, and so my mom and dad, they tell me they're flying out to see grandma. Said I should come with them, and so I made it happen. I flew out there. Uh, I saw my grandmother, and she just gave me this biggest hug, and I just started crying. I hadn't seen my grandparents in 15 years. Like I'm getting choked up thinking about it, and she was just like, it's okay, you're here now." And so that's the only thing I regret in my entire life, really. Um, the just not getting out there sooner, not being able to spend that important time with people that I love so much for stupid reasons. Like like I said, it wasn't anything. Like there wasn't a fight, there wasn't a fallout. There wasn't it wasn't cost prohibitive. Um, it was just it was just always sort of kicking the can down the road, and there's always going to be time until there wasn't.
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing I regret in my entire life, and I got to do that. It was a great week, and she passed away not long after, so super grateful that I had that time. But there's 15 years that I lost that I'll never get back. So that's you know aside from mental health, another thing that I always try to tell people is make sure the people that you love know that you love them. Tell
Yeah.
them often and tell them loud. So,
Well, well, thank you for sharing that.
yeah,
That's some pretty heavy shit. Uh, yeah. Almost feel bad going back to stupid
yeah,
questions after that one.
yeah,
So,
yeah. You're like, God, you're supposed to be funny. What the fuck is
hey,
this?
this is gonna go. This is gonna go wherever it needs to go, man. This is gonna go wherever it needs to go. So, thank you for sharing that. I think that's that's an important message for people who are going to see this video later.
Yeah,
Take advantage of the ones who are around you when you can, because you never know.
yeah,
I have a lot of members of my family that died with Alzheimer's, and
yeah,
I understand. It's when you say you have to lose them twice. I understand exactly what you're saying. So, okay,
yeah, yeah. On the bright side, I get to cause that pain to my loved ones at some point, more than
right?
likely.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of looking at that. That's why
That's
I
gonna be
I
great.
started doing meditation and stuff. Anything I can think of to help bring down my stress levels, because stress is a major factor that can bring on Alzheimer's earlier. And so I'm trying to bring down my stress levels, and I'm trying to give myself the best mental health I possibly can, eating healthy, getting plenty of
Yeah,
rest, all that stuff, because it runs in my family. And I mean, if you've seen any of my streams, I can't remember Taskmaster's name to save my life. And so I have a feeling that there's these, like, I can see it coming on, and I see it in my mother. I can see it in my mother
yeah.
happening right now. And that's terrible.
Listen,
She's 2 states away.
I,
So
so I was a big pothead when I was in college, and I don't smoke pot anymore. I drink my whiskey on Friday nights, and that's the only alcohol or depressant or stimulant that I put in my body outside my little puffer, which
mhm.
is just nicotine, not THC. And so I used to always blame the marijuana for a lot of my stupid. So for the last 20 years, I've been sitting at stop signs waiting for them to turn green. And for a long time, I blamed that on marijuana. But let's be real, I'm probably losing my mind.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up the marijuana thing. I was kind of worried about that myself, and I actually gave up marijuana last month because well, two reasons. One, I'm actually worried about my mental health. It's been going downhill.
Yeah.
And then come January, I'm going to look at trying to get a job, and I want to be able to pass a piss test if that's necessary. So yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with it because I'm still just as spaced out as ever. Okay, we were talking about what Taco's professional wrestler name would be. Taco Libre, the Taco, taco salad, and his finisher move would be tossing the salad. Somebody up here had an answer to a previous question that I was pretty good. Taco Escobar. I thought that would have been a good wrestling name. Vape Man coming to smoke ya. Oh my God. Okay. All right, chat. Your next question for Taco is what's the craziest thing that Taco has done with a stranger? What do you guys think is the craziest thing Taco has done with a stranger? I think a lot of these people have been at happy hour and they see you after you're quite a few shots in, after Ceci's been throwing out, subs and stuff like that. And they're going a little wilder. And then I come over here with these like hardcore questions. This might have been a disastrous idea too, but whatever. Okay. I'm gonna skip that one. We basically talked about that. Who was your childhood hero when you were growing up? Like, who did you look up to? Was it an actor, a person in your life that meant a lot to you?
My childhood hero. I was a big King Griffey Jr. fan as a kid. Growing up, I just thought King Griffey Jr. was the greatest thing ever. I was real big into baseball, and so seeing a professional baseball player that was out there smiling and laughing when that's not what baseball players did at the time. Like they were just little robots out on the field. And so that was really cool, seeing a guy out there wearing his hat backwards and like I said, I mean, just that laugh and smile and, amazingly athletic, jumping above the wall to catch, to rob home runs and then knocking them out of the park. So that was really cool. And, it was, I think you try to see yourself in your heroes, right?
Yeah.
It's not as much about what they do as much as what you want to see yourself do and be.
Yeah.
And so that's really the only hero I think I've ever had. I've always been pretty grounded, at least I've always been a very self-aware individual from starting at a very young age, and so I've always been very aware of the things that I'm very good at and very aware of the things that I'm not very good at. And I try to accentuate the things where I'm much stronger than I am weak. That way people don't necessarily notice those downfalls. I'm not I'm a pretty good looking guy. I'm aging. I'm a pretty good looking guy. But I've got this big, massive head. So I gotta draw as much attention away from that as possible. So I smile and I laugh a lot and I tell a lot of jokes. And
are you really self-conscious about the size of your head?
Oh no, I don't care.
Okay.
I just know that it's huge. You're missing the point. Right?
Sorry, I get distracted easily.
Yeah. See, there you are. Oh God, your head is big. So I use a lot of self-deprecating humor and that sort of distracts the masses, and then I come in with something that's actually super smart and intelligent, and take him back even further, and then showcase how great I am at playing soccer or playing golf. I don't show anybody me not being able to shoot a basketball. At all. So so I don't even know what your fucking question was, but I hope that answered.
We were talking about childhood hero and we got distracted, I think. Thank you for the gifted subs, Ceci. I appreciate that. I wasn't actually teeing you up, but the subs are always appreciated, ever expected. And Mobile Gamer with the big raid, thank you. For those of you just joining us, I'm interviewing TacoShooter. You probably already know him. So what we're doing, because my interviews have been, let's just say I need to work on them a little bit. What we've been doing is I've been asking chat some very ridiculous questions about TacoShooter, letting them generate some stupid answers. Meanwhile, I ask Taco some, well, a little bit more serious questions so that I can get to know the deeper side of him, because I've been on Happy Hour. We've had lots of laughs. I want to know some tougher stuff about him, but we're still trying to keep it light, even though we've been bouncing all over the place, man, haven't we? Anyway, we asked what was the craziest thing that Taco's ever done with a stranger. Let's find out what chat's answers are.
Some of these are bound to be accurate.
Yeah, you think? Let's see here. Twerking. Getting down here. Run, fix your stupid auto mod. Athame, stop trying to type in all caps. That's all it is. Just stop trying to type in all caps. Okay. Master Revan with glory hole. Lick their eyeball. It's definitely butt stuff. It's definitely butt stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I have given a man a hickey on his forehead before. That was awkward.
You know what? That doesn't actually, like you say that, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like Taco. Okay. Like I could just picture that at a party or something. It probably.
Yeah, he was. I thought it was funny, and he got to it was like right as he was walking out the door to go to work, and then I get a phone call like, "You motherfucker! I just walked in." And everybody's like, "What's wrong with your forehead?" I've got this giant red mark right in the middle of my forehead. I was like, "Oh, it worked! I didn't know that was even possible."
Okay. Well, I think so. It turned out reality beat out what chat could come up with. Come on, chat, get on your game. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That wasn't technically a stranger.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, chat, your next question. What was Taco's last Google search of? Let us know. What do you think Taco has been Google searching? All right, this is a good one here. I kind of like this one. I'm actually genuinely curious about this. Taco,
so while everybody's coming up with an answer for that, I think everybody in chat's last Google search was YouTube Tana.
Right?
Yeah. Just want to break the ice a little bit there.
I caught that thing like 10 minutes after it dropped, and I think it was still over 1,000 by the time I got to it. So that was, so that thing's going crazy. All right, I'm genuinely curious about this. What could someone do to gain your respect immediately? Like what blows you away when you meet somebody and you go, fuck yeah, I like that guy?
So the two things that I like more than anything are a positive attitude. So I always look at myself, and I try to embrace a glass half full personality, and so a good attitude is something that'll go a long way in my book. And then also I talk about mental health a lot, and I love it when people are open to sharing their mental health struggles. That's something that I find very, very endearing. and because I want more people to be comfortable, and I want it to be more normalized, because it mental health issues do affect so many people. And so when I come across people that like to openly talk about that, I find it very endearing and something that I can immediately relate with. Um, and it just shows strength to me, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Not saying that people that don't share their mental health issues are weak. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination. Like, just dealing with mental health issues is a struggle in itself. So for those people that can share and talk about that, I just find that as an overwhelmingly powerful force, that the world needs more of,
Why
and I want to be around.
why do you think so many people have, like, there's this negative connotation about going to seek help from a professional, like going to therapy and stuff like that. There's this like negative attitude. Oh, it's a head shrinker. I don't need that. You know, and you see them in the movies portrayed as these people with a notepad asking questions about your parents and stuff like that. And it's not at all like that. I've
Yeah.
been to therapy a lot of times, and it really helped me out as a child when I was going through divorce with my parents. Going and talking to somebody that just reaffirmed it's okay to have these feelings that you're having, and
Yeah.
you're not going crazy, and this is a hard time in your life, and that's okay. And just having somebody to talk to, it was immensely helpful. And it feels like society really kind of like shames people for that. It's not a weakness at all. I think it's a strength to look into yourself and go and try and just dig up the shit that's holding you back up here, you know?
So you've heard the song "It's a Man's World," right?
Yeah.
It's a man's world, and like, there's a lot of truth in those words. We've got a very chauvinistic society that's been built and developed years, for generations, and ultimately, like, it takes more men to talk about it. It takes more men to normalize those conversations and to show that it's okay not being okay, and to show that just because you've got mental health issues, you're not weak, you're not broken, there's nothing wrong with you. I think, the for the longest it was like, oh, I've got to, I need help, so I need a therapist. I need help, so I've got to go get fixed. And you're not broken.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with having mental health issues. It doesn't make you less of a person, less of a man. Um, but it's just not talked about. And I it's just what the society has built and developed, and societal change is not easy, and it doesn't happen instantaneously. Those types of changes in perception and in people's realities takes time and effort, and a willingness to put forth that effort by those that can. And unfortunately, not enough people want to,
Mm-hmm.
and not, the unfortunately, the right people don't want to. That's uh it's literally in everything that we see. It's the how often does, in a scary movie or in a battle, is there focus on the one person that's the hero that saves the day, and whether it's and as opposed to the community, because at the end of the day, one person can't do anything
Right.
except lead a change, but they can't make the change happen. It takes a community, and at the end of the day, a community doesn't sell tickets. At the end of the day, a community is not a hero. A community uh, isn't the what most people want to see. It's those individuals, and it's those highlights, and
Mm-hmm.
your all-star player, and um, that's my thoughts.
All right. I don't even remember what I asked chat. Honestly,
clue.
some of these are these chat questions I completely forget about. Thanks, Yuletide Bringer. I'm glad you like the backgrounds. Don't hickey me, bro. Okay. Rorik said your last Google search was having a small head. Buying out Squatty Potty.
What's it like?
We did look up
What's it
bidets.
like to have a baseball cap that fits without Velcro on the back?
Oh. Okay. Let's see here. Get rid of that one. We'll give chat a new question. Chat. What job would Taco be absolutely horrible at? I don't know that he would be horrible at a job, to tell you the truth. I'm kind of curious. What's up, Pathfinder Gaming? I thought you were on vacation, buddy. Glad you could join us. What's your guilty pleasure, Taco? Come on, give me something good. Give me something that makes me feel really good, because I watch the stupidest shit on Netflix, man. Come on, tell me you got a good one for me here. What's your guilty pleasure?
Are we talking about TV?
Anything, whatever your guilty pleasure is. Because, like, after this, I'm probably gonna go watch, like, Love Island on Netflix with my wife or something, and totally love it, even though that's the worst, most horrible shit anybody should ever watch.
Yeah, no. So as far as guilty pleasure, so we'll keep it in the TV world.
Okay.
I'm absolutely addicted to The Challenge. MTV's The Challenge. I can't get enough of that shit.
Okay.
I have binge watched every season multiple times. Currently, I think there was a new episode that came out today. Actually, I'm probably going to watch as soon as we finish this up. But that and I talk about it a lot in chat on my own stream and whenever I go on somebody else's. But whatever happened to Jello pudding pops? Like, listen, Bill Cosby. That sort of speaks for itself, right? But
Right.
they could have found another face. Like, Jello pudding pops
I
were
know.
amazing.
Yep.
They were so good. It was like pudding, but ice cream, but a popsicle, and it was so good.
I don't see, the problem is like, what actor wants to step into that role after Bill Cosby? Like, who wants to jump into that? They're going to take some heat. You're going to have to find a no-name person. Maybe that's what happened, and so we just never saw those advertisements. By the way, they got some good ideas on what job you would be horrible at.
Okay.
Rorik's with a hat model.
Yeah, fair.
Gynecologist. A burglar because he's loud.
Yeah, gynecologist, that'd be torturous. Like, there's not many things that I find less appealing than a vagina.
Which blows me away, because you said that you were really pulling down some bumper back in your college days, right? Like, what was what was going on with that? Why?
So listen, when you're young, dumb, and full of, you can pretty much do anything at any time. And then I remember I was 29. It was right before I came out of the closet, and I was dating this girl, and she was a fitness instructor and just absolutely fantastic. And we were making out, and all of a sudden I realized that I did not have an erection. And I just needed to quickly walk away. That was that.
Did you tell her it's not you, it's me?
No, I didn't say anything. I was like, I gotta go. And I just turned to the left, and that was that. That was that.
Master Revan wants me to cover my drink because I'm drinking from a Fuzzy's taco shop glass, and it says, put a taco in your talk hole. And I think that might that's coincidence. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. It's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me.
Wanted Jello pudding pop spokesperson. Must be averse to committing crimes.
That's fantastic.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. And Taco, if I'm taking up too much of your time, man, just let me know and we'll let you get going here. I honestly didn't think we'd make it through all 12 questions. I'm skipping, I skipped one of these because we kind of already went over it anyway. Okay, chat, this one's to you. What's the strangest thing that Taco ever purchased online? Hell, I'll open it up. What's the weirdest shit Taco ever purchased? All right, and Taco, here is your question. If you have $1 million to donate to a cause, what would you choose? Which cause would you donate $1 million to?
Trevor Project.
Yep, I kind of figured that
yeah,
one. Yep.
yeah, that's been a well, so honestly, I personally, so if I was going to just flat out donate $1 million to organization, I would donate to two different organizations. One would be the Trevor Project, and the other would be, something that people don't know about, which is Camp Rainbow. Um,
What's Camp Rainbow? I don't know about this one. I've heard you
so
mention it before, but
it's not a big nationwide anything. It's sort of like a local Make-A-Wish Foundation down in Tennessee. So in Tennessee, you've got Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, one of the best hospitals in the world. And basically they do a camp called Camp Rainbow, where terminally ill children go to this camp for a couple weeks during the summer. And get to do some amazing things that terminally ill children don't necessarily normally get to do. They take obviously a lot of precautions and make sure it's very hygienically kept up, which is very unlike most summer camps, right? And so they make it as safe as possible for those children. And it's an amazing experience. I used to volunteer a lot of time there when I was in college at Austin P State University, and then continued my time volunteering there for a few years. I had a niece of mine, not niece, a cousin of mine that had leukemia. She was diagnosed with leukemia as an infant and beat it. And then she got re-diagnosed as a toddler and beat it. And then they say if you make it to your 17th birthday, that you should be free and clear. And a couple weeks before her 17th birthday, actually it was a couple months before her 17th birthday, she started feeling real sick and went in, and she had leukemia again. And she made it through her junior year going through treatment. She made it through her senior year, and she was able to graduate. And then she passed away shortly thereafter. And that her life and that loss was very forming on me. Just a beautiful, beautiful soul that always smiled no matter how much pain she was in. And the leukemia treatments at one point made her develop jaundice, which, for those of you unfamiliar with jaundice, it's not just the yellowing of the eyes, changes your skin and changes your feeling, like how you feel things. And so like if you went up and gave her a hug, it would feel like you're ripping her skin off. And she always hugged everyone. Like that's just who she was, and the pain she was willing to take to feel that love. And so seeing her fight and go through what she went through, and that organization being something that she loved and supported, and she went there every year after she was cured and up until that happened. And so seeing her go through that and what she went through, and never losing the smile on her face, like, what right do I have to be nasty or rude or mean or upset or in a bad mood? Like, because I'll never go through what that little girl went through, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. So I got a lot to live up to in her eyes, at least in my eyes.
The fact that you know about these charities puts you head and shoulders above most people. You could ask that same question to a dozen people and then be like, I don't know, St. Jude's, like, because they know the name, it's popular or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you kind of blow me away with the experiences that you had, the people that you've met, and the things that you've taken in, and it really is. It's It's astounding. It's astounding. So, man, these questions up and down. Let's go back to the strangest thing you ever bought online, which feels so wildly inappropriate after that moment there. I got to work on my transitions, I think, baby. You're not making it easy for me. Jumpy McSpasm says fudge sickles. Let's see. Oh, I saw a good one that came across here. So, yeah, thank you, Game Bard. Appreciate that. Oh shit! Matching cock rings, a fleshlight, a bag of gummy dicks. Jesus, Tessie.
That's fantastic. That's like a whole bag, not just like a little one. It needs to be a big, massive bag of gummy dicks.
One of the 1,000 sweaters that you own. Yeah, I'm sure maybe more than one of those were purchased on. I buy sweaters online. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna save that one for last. Let's do. In fact, I think I'm gonna. Yeah, let's do 2 more. We'll do 2 more, and I'm gonna get rid of some of these. Okay. Chat, this is for you. What do you think?
What the fuck?
Are we serious? They're doing your little shout out thing here.
What just happened?
So I have a video clip of you going, "What the fuck?" and being all upset. So every time I screw up, they can pay channel points for it. It doesn't appear on here, but I just heard it in my ear. I don't know if even chat heard that or not. I don't know. Because of course I don't set up my alerts like I'm supposed to, because I've only been streaming for 2 years now and I suck at it.
I don't know where it came through because I barely heard it and I was like,
yeah,
what was that?
Yeah, so okay. Chat, what simple task is Taco surprisingly bad at? What simple task is Taco surprisingly bad at? And Taco, I'm going to give you the last question. So I had another one, it wasn't very good, so I'm just going to skip to this last one. What's your motto in life? Like what's
motto in life?
Your motto in life. What do you live by? That's the overall theme of everything we've been talking about. Because every question I've pitched your way has turned out to be a very serious question with some deep shit that you've brought to us. So, and there's a theme to it too. This you recognizing compassion and positivity in others and seeking out the best in people and doing your best to bring that out in people. So, what is your motto in life?
My motto in life is be happy. Like that's it. It's always been that. Not always, but for decades now.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's such a general statement, right? Like, what is happy? Like, you try to define what happy is, and it's everybody's got their own definition. Everybody has their own thing that can make them happy, and happy can be a moment, or it can be a lifetime. Happy can be instantaneous, or it can develop over time. What is happy? Happy is having the financial freedom to be able to live however you want. But happy is to somebody else is, just having people that they love around them. Happy is going to a baseball game or a basketball game, or happy is going to spend time working at your local soup kitchen. It is whatever you want it to be. And that's something that makes me happy. And that's something that I always try to do. I'm always trying to find ways to better myself and to improve in everything that I do, except streaming. I pretty much just fucking wing that shit.
I think we all do.
Yeah. Like I'm absolutely, my entire everything that I do when it comes to streaming is due to the kindness of others. But seriously, that's it. I want to, if I can make somebody happy, if I can brighten someone's day, then I've been successful. If I can, uh, if I can find a reason to laugh and enjoy others as well as myself, then that's also a success. I wasn't always this bright, happy-go-lucky person. Growing up, yeah, I've talked about it before on my own channel. Back to the whole self-aware thing. I used to be a big smartass, and I mean like a mean smartass. Very sarcastic, very condescending. It was very funny, but it was funny because it would probably really hurt somebody's feelings. And it's just like, oh, it's more shocking that you're saying it than actually funny. I was a bully when I was in middle school and even part of high school. I don't like I never I don't know that I ever hurt anybody physically. I got in fights, but I don't think I ever like seriously hurt anybody or did anything like that. But I definitely scarred some people. Like there's definitely people that have bad memories about me, and I'm super not proud of that. Um, I went through things in my life that changed me. I went through things, losing my cousin that I spoke about earlier. Um, at 15 years old, my best friend was murdered by a serial killer. Um, that type of stuff is changes you, and like a lot of people go through stuff, and they get different things out of it. And for me, I went through stuff and I went through heartache um, and those types of things changed who I was. And so I started meeting people that I enjoyed being around, and I wanted to take little pieces of them and incorporate them into myself and change who I am, and in the process, try to find and help and change other people. Um, because it sucks sometimes to be the only person in the room that understands the joke. And that's not saying I'm super smart, but it's just a joke that I've told that I'm the only one that finds the humor in it. And those jokes, they're not a lot of fun. It's not a lot of fun when you're the only person that can laugh. Like at some point, it's you. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
some point, it's not everybody else. It's you.
Yeah.
You are the problem. And you have to address that. You have to find a way to fix that. Um, so
Uh,
that's what made me.
you know, there's a lot of unhappiness going around in MSF right now. I
Yeah.
think for a guy like you who has lived the life that you have and had to go through some of the atrocities that you have and that you've shared with us, and you're still one of the happiest people around. I think that I my message to everybody else is this guy right here is setting the fucking bar, guys. He's setting the fucking bar. He's happy. He's happy.
Yeah.
So I think other people should try and be a little bit more happy too.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate those kind words. Um, this game doesn't make it easy sometimes.
No, it does not. No, no. I
Boy,
think
does it get in its own way.
I would like to say it's okay to be frustrated with Scopely. I think they kind of deserve a little of our harshness and everything. So we can go ahead and be mad at them, but we should definitely be taking care of one another. We should definitely try and be happy, like Taco says, because there is always a worse situation for us to be in. TacoShooter, thank you so much for coming on the stream. This has been a much needed reprieve from this day. And a fantastic interview because I absolutely threw the book out. I let you run with it. Literally bought some hot seat cards from Target and just asked Taco some random shit and let the man speak for himself. And this has been a really great interview. So thank you so much for coming on here.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me. I've been so excited about this since you first messaged me. I love the opportunity to hang out and interact with other streamers and content creators that are out there, and look forward to hanging out real soon, brother.
All right, thanks. All right, guys, I'm gonna shut stream down and I'm gonna raid somebody else. Close out. Close out. Yeah, love right back at you, brother. Right back
Peace
at
and
you.
love.
But close out this
Bye,
call
bitches.
and we'll. uh, okay. That was the one and only Taco Shooter. I was so honored to have him on today. Thank you in chat, everybody joining into those questions. I don't even know if I let you guys answer some. I think the last question was, what simple task is Taco Shooter surprisingly bad at? And aside from short answers, I think Taco Shooter is not bad at anything at all. I think the man's an absolute legend, and it was a fantastic time having him on. Links in the description below, YouTube. Not even going to bother editing this because I want everybody to see that man from start to finish. So much fun having him on there. Now, all of you guys in chat, remember, be happy. Taco Shooter said so. So let's be nice to one another. Let's take care of each other. Let's stop some of this nonsense and let's just be happy. And let's see me not know how to spell raid. 2 fucking years, I still can't do this right.